taking that first dragon was a big aspect as to how it was that they could counteract C9. There is more scrappiness around this red buff. We might see a lot of members show up here. Here comes Aphelios as well. They might just have to see this over on the side of Supernova.
They immediately just go in to lock out onto one, but there's a massive cage. That's US First Blood. All the way onto RBM, though, but Emperor's Defy was split a couple of them off for now. Nice knock up from the back, and he can trade 1-for-1. Visor goes huge so far, locking down Stromfest, but he has no backup. That's a double kill for Sketch Streams, and Stream double by double on both sides, though. Rovex has to run away, but even for AOE Supernova.
Ends up being 2 kills going on to the Vigard to begin this.
Saw how much of a menace he became, and that was after like not getting this double kill. So now see the TP already coming in. Look at the punch. The Supernova Clyde is almost dead. RBM able to get a nice jump down, knocks him out of tower range, and the Mega Inferno Bomb will do no much. That's 2 kills for AOE.
We talked about the fact that, again, when you got this substitute, you got Rovex and Clyde in the bottom lane, who are both 2 for AOE, and their strategy of trying to keep...
Oh, they just lock one down here, Dean. One out there. Now that they go trade 1-for-1. Nice bomb. Coming out for Rovex, though, so at least they get a trade kill and a bit more gold into the Ziggs that could get also very scary.
Yeah, that is the Ziggs that has now taken top tower and got a kill right there, and they're going to force down mid tower because there's no one here to defend it right now. Aphelios is on bottom side, Ornn is in top, shoving in that wave. All they have to do is burn through the one plate here after this one goes down, and that's just going to be the Ziggs bomb that's capable of getting it. They can't do it on this wave. That's unfortunate because RPM's going to come back up, and Ornn is also going to be able to respond from the top river. So best case scenario, they just shove in this wave, force RBM to catch it. It's a little bit of CS denied, potentially the Dark Wings, but that's about all you get. Still, tower plates. You're taking gold all day as solely over the course of everything, even after some of the dives that had happened on the bottom side, is still about a 300 gold lead. Games back and forth a little bit in terms of gold as they don't want to give AOE that win condition of the Dragon Soul here. Without that ultimate from the likes of Faisal, maybe they actually have an opening. Sketch Stream's got the shot class. He lost a good amount of his health right there.
A real flanks to come about. The Dark Wing still on the backside. Has the Emperor's Divide could really split this fight in this game in half right now, but Cage goes down, so AOE knows that this is their time. Just have a little opening. They're going to go in here. There you go. Second goes on the backside. Dragon is now there. It's 2 bucks. 1-for-1 traded. So I have to trade that to take anything. Dark Wings goes down too. Supernova wants to fight suddenly. They could chase them down, but AOE is already out.
Not a perfect situation here from Supernova. Not everything that they would have wanted. Yes, they should be able to push down maybe mid in here tower just off the back of having everybody around and that Ziggs bomb to be able to convert this, and that will be valuable. But set it as much as possible. Rovex is a terrible situation here.
Maddie caught out back and beautiful Emperor's Divide. As that's 2 more going over to RBM. The Castle Sharpers in the back end too, as they get this mid tier 1 and likely the tier 2. Stromfest solo left alive to just try to defend. What's stop them for opening up the base, but AOE have the game very much in control.
They do. Right there, they're able to find a broken fight. This is a very rare situation where AOE almost has to play their team fights in a very unique way. They don't get to play that kind of front-to-back 5-on-5 that they're accustomed to. But here, they're showing their proficiency for playing a variety of different team fights. Nice Rip Herald drop into killing off Clyde. That is a member that is both CC and frontline for your team, as well as being a little bit more zoning power with that ultimate. Once that's down, there's not much really preventing anyone from walking in. I love this as well. Faisal's ultimate, once the Rip Herald is tanking the tower to put pressure onto Rovex, Maddie tries to come over and help him, but Darkwings gets an ultimate to push these 2 into the team. This is the whole point of having the Vigard, is to prevent things like this from happening. They're so quick on the draw that unfortunately Stromfest just isn't there to help respond to anything. There is no one here. There's no reinforcements for the members that are sitting underneath this tower. It allows AOE to force very far in their issue and allow their setup to actually work.
And this has happened twice now. Even in the previous fight, you saw how they caught out Rovex with the flash over the wall, but at least he stalled long enough that time to allow Stromfest to get in. But Rovex now with his flash still coming back up, although he was not the primary target. Like, Stromfest is not being there. He's being a little bit slow. Like, it's all the circles coming together, and if you have 5 circles on a team competition, they can converge on one another. You just get the Olympics. But although they don't have it, they only have 2 out of the 5 rings. They still are executing quite well. Speaking of execution, though, Dragon right now up in the next 5 seconds. Supernova know they cannot give this up. They have to be here for this. So the choosing to stick around, set up. I want to catch. I want immediately. It just goes so fast, Dean. One look down, already get another. Supernova though coming on top of the fight so far, back and forth, but once with 2 more down, they thought they had it, but they just don't. RBM still going in, Strompus, no, not even chuck him down, and he gets cleaned up as well. Cozy too, don't have to run away. He puts out the cannon and tries to go for one more smash. But instead, he's the one who gets smashed down. And Soul is there. The game, it realistically is theirs, Dean.
It is. I gotta give a ton of props over to the side of AoE's engagements because again, Faisal and Zyko in the midst of a Galio, in the midst of a Vigar, in the midst of Trundle Pillar, are somehow able to find engage after engage after engage in this team that should be difficult to do this with. When you've got the siege of like a Ziggs and you've got the siege of a Jace, it should be pretty enough to throw damage into a team, especially with that much zoning power, but man, AoE has somehow been able to get that engage into these players and force them into kind of precarious situations where they're not able to get their team fight all together. Now, Supernova's forcing here to try to pull some Baron off. I don't think they're going to be able to bring anybody down.
It looks a little bit tough for them right now, yeah, like definitely so as they're all trying to run away, but considering, yeah, they're expending a lot of TPs to back and forth. Clyde doesn't just get caught either. Strompus gets choked down. Sketchy just 2v1ing on the backside as the hero's entrance in, but unfortunately there's a hero to be found. Bodine, they need a hero, but they will not find one in this team fight as they get out with Baron.
They do. Easy enough, and this was opted for by the side of Supernova. Psycho not going to get brought down either. This is so hard of a game now for the side of Supernova to play. AoE has been able to break them to pieces a number of times, proving that they understand how to break this Supernova kind of line and make sure they don't get to play this like draw the trench and then use like your artillery to just hit the side of AoE. And even if they do get that set up, they've got Ocean Soul to regenerate themselves. They got an insanely powerful Aphelios and an insanely powerful Kha'Zix to come back. You've got Azir who's been able to come back inside of this game. There are not a lot of weapons that Supernova hold that are not capable of being counteracted now that AoE have all these resources, 6k gold lead and the Ocean Soul to work with.
If they just continue to not push their lead across the entire map, although not all side lanes in their favor, it's gonna go down mid because right now they're strong enough very much to do that. Not every single team fight ultimate is up currently, but it's just denying every single resource for the side of Supernova, who are essentially just left at the mercy of whatever RBM and Darkwings are essentially just going to do to them. But as you can do, push down mid lane right here, Dean. They're knocking at the door of their base as they set up this kind of 4-1-4-2.
This is AoE not wanting to go out right here and right now. They had a rough series against C9AM that were a large number of games that went a very long distance, most of them over 35 minutes, even into the 50-minute range. They don't want to lose now.
One after another, they put in a couple of ultimates. Although it doesn't result in a kill, it does result in a tower dying on the side of Supernova, but they don't manage to push in the inhibitor either, as Darkwing still pushing in that bot side. Supernova being attacked on a couple of different fronts, but AoE is not stopping them.
They are not, and they don't really have to. I will say, if there were going to be a moment in which Supernova could try to find something, this might be the moment, only because Faisal's ultimate is down, and that is one of the biggest tools that they have to really force onto this Supernova squad from a distance and break them apart by having people separate in 2 directions or just tank that engage altogether. But unfortunately, they just can't. They can't push out of their base. They're a little bit gun shy here, understandably being down 8,000 gold and the Ocean Soul. You don't want to give it up unless you have an absolutely picture-perfect fight, but a picture-perfect fight almost certainly includes Faisal's ultimate being down.
Indeed, I've seen this picture before. I've seen what ADCs can do right here, and immediately a beautiful Moonlight Vigil. We're locked down 2, and Strompus is gone. Hero-like entrance will not save anybody at all, as AoE and 4v5 are looking to force down Supernova's base. A lot of chunks coming out from both ends. The Emperor's Divide and the Shuffle will put Rovex back into the deck as they get another tower. They will get the inhibitor too. AoE still 5 people strong as they're going to force down the base. Supernova has to make the final stand right here with only 3 people. They can't do anything. They get the taunt off as well. Yet there's a big knockup. Maddie at the backside gets chopped down. Just so much damage from this Azir, and AoE staying alive in game 2.
They are taking us to game number 3 now against the side of Supernova. I'm happy to say that is the case.